All right, what's good, guys? We got another More with Devin show. As always, we're going to be, I'm giving some advice that I'm gaining, some insight on just life, and then, answering questions that, can help be a benefit to any person that's watching when it comes to their fitness, nutrition, and mind. And you can always submit questions, and once we get this going, I'll answer your questions on here, so feel free to always reach out. Let me know what kind of question you have. What's up, John? How you doing, my man? So we're going to get this party started. And the first thing that I want to talk about in reference to just life and in general is I'm realizing that, especially, this is for, whether you're a man or a woman, just if you're a human being in general, but especially, men, I'm realizing that we got to create a space where it's okay to be vulnerable and express your heart, and, instead of holding in your emotions. And and I realized, man, the more you hold your emotions in, the more unclear you are for other people. And like maybe you show one thing, but you feel another, and then people can't really ever get to know you. You're not able to, allow people to see you for who you are. And it creates distortion and confusion within yourself as well as others. And it's okay to be vulnerable and show your heart and let people see you for who you are. And, even if you need to cry, man, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like to hold your feelings in over and over and over, it's almost kind of like a volcano. Eventually it comes out in ways that's not even in alignment with who you are. So, it's okay to feel your feelings. It's okay to let people, get to know you and see you for, your real self. And I think that, if you can speak from a calm place and, be respectful and, not, aggressive, people can hear you. And I think to myself, the people who really love you, what I'm saying, they're going to hear you. They're going to like be patient with you. And a lot of times it's pretty crazy that, what I'm experiencing on both ends when I miss the mark and when I'm a person that's, experiencing somebody else's like negative energy, if I really care about you, I'm willing to forgive. And like, so if somebody projects their negative energy on you and then you see that they actually would have been open to you being able to be your true self with them, you don't have to project your energy in this way that you're tough and calloused, and then you're expressing yourself in a way that's not actually true to who you really are. That's not actually true to your true self, because you know what I'm saying. You're scared to be that way. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to let people see you as a weak person or that you're sensitive or emotional. So you hold it in, hold it in. You act like everything is all good, and then you end up hurting the people who love you the most. You hurt the people who will forgive you the quickest. And so, not saying that everybody needs to be able to see your emotions and see, all of your feelings, but, those close relationships, man, what's the point of having connection if you can't be open and, show your heart? And I think that, even, I looked at, the Latin root word of courage is to listen to your heart. You know what I'm saying? People look at being courageous as something that's beast mode. You know what I'm saying? You're a warrior, you're ready to fight people, or you standing up for yourself in this, aggressive, strong way. But really, man, courage is it means to show your heart, to follow your heart. And, when you listen to your heart from a place of love, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that's aggressive. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's, rooted in a positive nature, and, people will hear it. And, most of the time, like I said, man, if somebody really cares for you, they love you, you know what I'm saying? Like if you talk and speak from an open place and a genuine place with love, you know what I'm saying? People are receptive to that, and they're able to understand you in a better way where they can help you help yourself. And you know what I'm saying? And it creates connection, and you know what I'm saying? The ability to like, be genuine with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this whole life is about, is relationships, because, who are you without relation? You don't know who you are relative. The only way you know who you are and how you feel is relative to the things you've experienced. And that's, and so like, what a shame to not relate to someone from an authentic and genuine place. So, I'm challenging myself with this, and I challenge, anybody that's watching this, man, like those close relationships, those people that you love, open yourself up from a genuine place, you know what I'm saying? Like, and create spaces for other people to be able to be their real self. And then from that space, man, amazing things happen. And I can honestly say, with DT, that's one of the main things that makes this place so cool, is that, in this gym, doesn't matter if you're a top athlete, to like you're a grandma, you know what I'm saying? You come in here, you're going to be safe. You're going to be able to be yourself, and you're going to be accepted for who you are. We're going to meet you where you are and help you get to where you want to be without any kind of judgment. And, yeah, are we going to like push you to be your best? Yeah, but it's going to be from a place of love. And I think that's the spaces where people can grow and reach their fullest potential when they know that they're accepted and they can be themselves. So that's my little words of wisdom before we get into this nutrition stuff. It's the courage, which means, listening to your heart, following your heart. You know what I'm saying? So make that decision in those moments when things are tough, and see what happens and how your life starts to transform and how you start to heal and you give the space for healing. All right, so we're going to get into this nutrition stuff. All right, so our first question that we have is, how do you put a meal together? How do you put a meal together? So that's a great question. And let's just say we're talking about putting a meal together in reference to, your health and wellness, losing body fat, gaining muscle, toning up, changing your body composition, going from like maybe wanting to lose, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. So I actually made a post on Instagram and my Facebook stories that kind of explains this a little bit. And, the first thing that we want to do is have a quality protein source. Protein is going to be the thing that's going to allow us to increase our satiety, which is, not feeling hungry. And then, there's a lot of studies that have shown that it's really difficult to overeat protein. So if we can get some protein in our diet, it's going to help us be able to build muscle. It's going to help us not feel hungry. And then it's going to be really difficult for us to gain body fat when we have a quality amount of protein in our diet, relatively speaking to all the other things that are in there as well. So then from there, a lot of times people think that, carbohydrates are bad and like you got to go super low carb to lose weight. And, I think, you want to try to have a well-rounded diet as possible and like things that you enjoy. So, carbohydrates are a good thing. And I would say, we want to shoot for some, like about a fist size of a carbohydrate. So like a palm size of protein. And we want to go like a fist size of some kind of carb that's a complex carbohydrate. So, something like oatmeal, potatoes, red potatoes, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, and then, rice, couscous, some kind of complex carb that has some fiber, some minerals, you know what I'm saying? That it's like a whole nutrient dense type of food, going for, bread and, faster digesting carbs that don't have fiber in them and things of that nature. Not to say that that's just inherently bad, but if we want to like get ourselves in a space where we're losing weight and, working on our health as well as our wellness and being able to have the highest amount of volume of food, what I'm finding is if you can get yourself set up to eating the foods that grow on this earth, you know what I mean? It's going to put you in a better position. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be fuller. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel more vibrant. So you got a palm size of protein, some kind of lean protein, some kind of fish, chicken, lean steak, turkey, something like that. Eggs, things of that nature. And then so from there, the next thing is going for like when it comes to your veggies, I would say, almost any kind of veggie for the most part, besides like corn, and, things of that nature, like more leafy, green, fibrous veggies, we want to go unlimited vegetables, like, find some veggies that are high in volume, low in calories, high in fiber, and, go crazy with the veggies. So get a palm size of protein, a fist size of some kind of carbohydrate, and then go unlimited with the veggies. And, if you can do a meal, set your meals up in that kind of perspective, a lot of times you don't even have to actually count calories for some time, and you can see some significant, progress with your weight loss and body composition. And then obviously, when it comes to carbohydrates as well, fruits are really good. People think that the fructose is going to make you fat. It's not the case. Things like watermelon, berries, strawberries, all type apples, it's really good. So, put that as one of your carb sources. And then, things like peanut butter, you want to go about a thumb size of peanut butter. And, just be mindful because, fat has a higher density of calories, but it's not bad as well. It's just all about making sure you eat it in the right, moderation. So, like we'll review that again. So like, palm size of protein, fist size of some kind of carb, unlimited vegetables, and then those carbs, starchy carbs all the way to, fruits. And then, you want to go for, some kind of fat, about a thumb size of fat for that meal, whether you're sauteing it in food or you putting some, some kind of vinaigrette on your salad. So that's kind of how we'll set a meal up. And, from there, you do that consistently, you'll be full, and then you'll start to see some good results. And then you just maybe make adjustments based off of, how your body's responding, or, get a coach if, you start to kind of hit a plateau. So then from there, next question we have is, what's the best way to meal prep? So what I have found, meal prepping for a long time, and then helping a lot of people meal prep. A lot of times people say like, meal prep for the week, but if you do that, then, I found that the food is like a little like dry or slimy or not tasty, and people have a tendency not to, continue with that meal prep. But, so what I think a good idea is to meal prep every 3 days. And so it keeps it where the food is fresh, and then you can switch up the food if you want to. And then from there, focus on like really cooking like probably like 2 to 4 different types of proteins that you enjoy to kind of have some variety, and just cook all that protein up. Like, whether you put it in a power air fryer or you're cooking it on the stove, like whatever way you cook your chicken and your meats and all that stuff, cook it all up where it's just ready to go. And then from there, same thing with your carbohydrates, like you bake your potatoes, cook your rice, cook that up in abundance. And then, a couple, like 3 or 4 different types, so you got some variety. And then when it comes to your veggies, what I would suggest is, purchase, some fresh veggies and fruits, but then also have, a stock of frozen veggies and fruits where it will last longer, and you can just throw that in the microwave and you're good to go. So from there, you cook all that food up in abundance. Then from there, what you can do, let's just say, you got 3 to 5 meals a day that you're consuming, go ahead and just boom, 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 add your protein, add your carb, add your veggie, your fat, fruit, or whatever, the things that you got. And then just, you already know what you're going to be eating for breakfast, or for lunch, for dinner. And then let's just say you got 3 meals a day. So then that's 9 meals, and that's 9 meals you got to make. It's not that hard, doesn't take that long. And you got 9 meals for 3 days, boom. And then you get to that 3rd day, you meal prep again. And you get into that rhythm, start figuring out your system, types of foods you like, and then you're ready to go. And then it makes it where, if you're already prepared, it makes it easier for you to succeed versus like, eating randomly, going here, making meals here and there. Just take like an hour, cook the food up, and then you're good to go. And I think like a 3-day cycle, from what I found, is an optimal place where, it doesn't become boring, and you can switch it up, and the food is still pretty fresh. So then number 3, question 3, will protein make me gain weight? So we kind of already answered that question already. Like I said, man, they have done studies where they have had people overfeed their protein, and they actually don't gain body fat. It's really, really difficult to overeat protein and, start to gain weight. So what's interesting, a lot of people think like, oh, like I'm gonna eat protein, I'm gonna get swole. But really, protein is gonna help you stay full where you're not hungry. And then it's gonna help you be able to lose fat because you're not hungry. And, so protein is really a great way to get yourself in a position to actually lose weight. And then when people want to lose weight, they're trying to lose body fat. So, if we want to get our body fat percentage down, you got to maintain or build muscle depending on your fitness level and how long you've been training. Most people, if you've been training all the time, you're trying to retain your muscle tissue, and then we're trying to lose fat. And same thing with women. When a woman like wants to have curves and be toned, they're looking to lose body fat. So the way that's going to happen is by keeping your muscle mass and losing the body fat. And the way that's going to happen is through, resistance training and having like a solid diet that is, got the proper amount of protein for your body to, be able to, maintain your muscle tissue. So protein will not make you fat. The way you get fat is overeating and eating too much food. And most of the time, that's going to happen through, having an abundance of, fats and carbohydrates, you know what I'm saying? And, eating foods that are higher in high in calories and, not a lot of, volume. That's the main culprit, you know what I'm saying? Processed foods is what creates that issue for a lot of people. And so it's not so much having a high protein diet that makes you, bulky. It's not the case, even though it seems counterintuitive, but it's really difficult to build muscle versus, being able to lose body fat. And it's really easy to gain body fat, you know what I'm saying? So it's not the protein. So then our next question, so are cheat meals okay? So that's a good question. And the way that I look at it is, I look at it as more so as a free meal versus a cheat meal. And, but there are times where, if you've been dieting and you're dieting really well, you need to be able to break up that monotony. And, we don't want to put people in a position where they, eat the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then they start to have an association with food being good and bad. We don't want that. We want to, figure out the foods that we enjoy and just look at it as fuel, looking as a tool. It's a thing that we put in our body that tastes good. It helps us stay healthy, moves us in the right direction versus having like a stronger version towards food being good and bad. And then from there, hey, you want some pizza? I eat pizza. I eat, hamburgers and all that kind of stuff, and foods that are looked at as unhealthy. I have that stuff, but it's about having it in moderation. And if your goal is if you're looking to lose weight and make progress, you got to find a way where eating a cheat meal doesn't hinder your progress. Because what's the point of eating super healthy and eating well where you're in a caloric deficit to lose weight, let's just say, or get your overall health together, and then on the weekend you splurge and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're just messing everything up. So, but at the same time, let's just say you have a couple slices of pizza, and possibly you kind of speed your metabolism up, and you get on the scale the next day, you lost some weight. First, you eat a whole pizza, and now you're 5 pounds overweight, but you didn't gain 5 pounds. You're depressed, and you know what I'm saying? It's water weight and a little body fat. You know what I'm saying? You're looking bloated. You're demotivated. You know what I'm saying? So then the next day, you wild out again, and then you just all jacked up. Like, there's no point to, put yourself in that kind of position and then create this yo-yo type of effect of barely eating and then eating a whole bunch of food. So when it comes to a cheat meal, it needs to be structured and strategic in a way that it, breaks up the monotony, breaks up the craving, but also continues to guide you to, what your goal is. So I hope that answers that in a clear way. And then our next question is, I don't have time to meal prep and I don't like cooking. What are solutions to still reach my goal? All right, cool. So I think the first question, the nice answer is to, get a meal prep service. And, so find a meal prep service, and then, you can spend your money on that. They can help you figure out, your portions and all that kind of stuff. Or if you know that, and then, you buy 21 meals a week. You got 3 meals a day, or, 14 to 21 meals a week. And then boom, you got it. And then the meaner answer to that is, I think to myself, people living in America are becoming, especially, in developed countries, specifically America, that's mostly where all of my people that's watching this are from. We're becoming super lazy, man, where back in the day, people had to hunt to get their food. Maybe, I don't know, 100 years ago, not that long ago. People had to hunt their food, cut the food up, cut the skin off, gut it, you know what I'm saying? And then possibly make a fire, you know what I mean? And didn't have no ingredients where you can go to the grocery store. They had to make the ingredients and then cook everything by scratch. And you know what I'm saying? They had to struggle and really grind to be able to eat. And now, you know what I'm saying? We have all this convenience where people are becoming they're finding ways to make things more complicated and more stressful. Life is, no matter what, you got $1 million or you know what I'm saying, you got $1. People find ways to make life stressful. You got a great person that's in your life. Things are really good. You live in an amazing town, and people will nitpick and find a way to make a mountain out of a molehill. And, I think a lot of people are doing that. If you're on a phone and you have access to, a stove, the stove is cooking your food. The oven is cooking your food. You're just putting it in there, putting a little seasoning. You ain't having to get a stick and to make the fire come about. You know what I'm saying? You just go to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? The chicken's already cut up for you. You know what I'm saying? It's already pre-made for you. And then you can probably buy stuff that, you know what I'm saying? You just put it in the microwave. So I think we got to have a shift in our minds. We have so much access to so much convenience and the ability to take our lives to way higher levels, but we continue to find a way to, kind of stabilize ourselves to a low level, even though we have access to all this stuff. A lot of people are complaining when, man, we are probably living the best that any generation has ever lived. We have access to so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got to take advantage of what we got, or, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be taken away from us. So if you can't, you got an air conditioner, you got heat, you can't boil some water and put some oatmeal in it and let it cook itself, you know what I'm saying, for a couple minutes. You got to reevaluate life and what's important. And this physical body is all you got. You know what I mean? And however, whatever school you going to, whatever, job you got, whatever kind of cool car you got, or whatever clothes you got, none of that stuff ain't going to work if you ain't got no body. And if you don't have a body, then you can't express. You ain't alive. You know what I'm saying? So to take a couple little time out of the day to take care of this physical self, to take care of you, which means you got to cook some food from home. I don't think that's that big of a deal. Like I said, when just 100 years ago, it's people still on this earth today that they got to go hunt their food. You know what I mean? They got to, it's way crazier circumstances. When most people watching this, you just go to the grocery store, even if you're living in the hood, go to the grocery store, you can drive your car, somebody got a car, you go in the grocery store, all the stuff you need, you just buy it. You got a stove, you got a refrigerator. So, really sit back and think about that, how blessed you really are. And then, open yourself up to being better. So that's what I would say to that if you don't like to cook. Or, you need to get rich enough to get a maid. And if you ain't got that kind of money, then you need to do it yourself. And that's my answer to that. And then, so then the next question we got, I hate veggies. What should I do? So once again, we got another question that I'll answer in a nice way, and then in a good way. So I think to myself, when it comes to veggies, the main thing, is you got fiber and nutrients and minerals, and that's really essential to make sure that you're getting that stuff in your diet. When it comes to just overall wellness and health and optimization of your body. And so there are some things like sea moss has 92 of the 102 minerals that your body needs to function properly. And then, you have things like moringa, where it has a lot of minerals as well. And so you can supplement in that kind of perspective, or get a powdered green and add that to your smoothie, things added, ones that are flavored. And then you're able to, make it a little tastier, and you're getting the fiber and the minerals and all that stuff, where it's jam packed with all kind of stuff, all kind of fruits and vegetables all mixed into it, probiotics and things of that nature, as well as there's something supplements that are high quality, like something called 90 for Life, where you're able to get all of the minerals and vitamins, nutrients that your body needs to function at an optimal level. So there's different ways that you can supplement that. But then from there, I think to myself, all food that we eat, you know what I'm saying, it's acquired. People in China, people in India, people in America, we all got different palates based off of our environment and the type of foods that we've eaten. And I think to myself, man, I got clients who don't like vegetables and things of that nature. But I would say, man, open yourself up, man, eat some spinach and put it in your mouth and taste it a little bit, chew it up, and make a conscious choice to start trying to add veggies to your diet. And, try to experiment and figure out the things that, that taste decent to you. And the more you try it, you can acquire taste. All taste for the most part are acquired. If you don't have some kind of specific aversion to food just in general, if you're an adult, open yourself up to being better. And we've gotten so accustomed to eating so much processed foods that, the stuff that's natural on this planet, people almost look at it as it's strange or weird. When, that's the stuff that was here first, and our bodies, operate and digest it and assimilate it in a more proficient way. So, open yourself up, man. You got to, once again, don't let your, ability, our privilege of having all this stuff, make you, fall off from being your best self, being your best human that you can be, and becoming soft to life, because, so it's oh, I don't eat vegetables because I can just go and eat candy bars all day and pizza. Open yourself up to it. Like I said, man, this physical body is all you got, and you got to take care of it. So that's pretty much, my conversation today. I hope that I was able to bring some value to you guys and help you be able to see things in a clear way. And if you have any kind of questions, please, either DM me, or there'll be a link in this video on Facebook where you'll be able to, submit questions. And then on Instagram, it'll be a link in the bio where you can submit questions if you have any kind of questions. I appreciate everybody's time. As I always say, remember what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. All right, peace, guys.